episode of Stay Off the Internet, man.
There you go.
I bleeped out the cuss words. I ain't even saying them this time, so
Clean it
Montel
up.
don't have to do no extra work. All right? But we like to welcome y'all back, man. We got a special show. We at a special place right now. As y'all can see, we in the art gallery. Look pretty good. See, y'all see how
Got it everywhere. Hey, the whole scenery. It's
How
a
you doing,
vibe,
Josh?
man.
How you doing, man? What's the
I'm
vibe?
feeling
What's the
good,
vibe,
man.
bro?
Feeling amazing, man.
Okay. You feeling amazing? Me too, man.
Man, it's I'm very excited about what we about to find out.
Right, because we do got a special guest today for y'all, man. We got Mr. DeGaneiro Jones, man, who hails from St. Louis. He's a worldwide artist, disciplined artist. How you say that again? Multidisciplined artist. This is a new word for-
Multidisciplined black.
multidisciplined black artist, and I had to get that together because that's the first time I ever heard that, which is interesting. And he's gonna tell us a lot of things, which is y'all first time ever hearing too. So this is an interesting story. I want y'all to sit through this and get to know this man as we just did for a few minutes, but we're gonna get to know him a little better throughout this show. And Josh will tell y'all how they met, because you got a story, right?
Yeah, I got it's an interesting story. So I remember like it was yesterday, actually.
Okay.
Very impactful. It was a major moment. So my brother was in town, and he tells me, he said, Josh, you got to see this, bro.
Okay.
I'm a big art head. Like, my major was art in college. Like,
Mhm.
I'm deep in the art stuff, right?
Right.
Drawing, painting, doing all this stuff since I was younger. And my brother, he said, yeah, you got to see this. It's a museum, right?
Okay.
So I go to this location, and that's when I met my guy, DeGaneiro, right?
Okay.
And I'm looking around, and it's a museum, but it's stuff that you ain't never seen anywhere.
Right.
Like, if I had to try to describe it, it's like being in a hidden temple or something like that. Like, the stuff that he had,
Okay.
how you get access to this?
Right.
And that's when I got introduced to DeGaneiro, because he had the whole museum. He's like, yeah, one day I'm going to have my own museum. And I'm like, it's already here.
Like, why you don't already? This is it right here. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, we'd like to introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to DeGaneiro Jones.
Hey,
How you doing, sir?
doing fine, guys. Thanks for having me.
Man, we appreciate you coming, man. We know you got a busy schedule.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate you pulling up, man, and inviting us to your art gallery, your private art gallery.
We
This is
switched
just
up the
private art
scenery,
gallery
man.
right
This
now,
is
man.
private.
It's private art
There's a
gallery.
lot of things in here.
This is my studio. This is where the magic happens. This is the body shop.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, just to start off with.
Yes, sir.
How did you get started in the industry, like, as far as like a multimedia creator?
I started, I've always had an affinity towards art. I was part of a manhood and leadership development group called St. Paul Saturdays.
Okay.
And the founder of the organization was one of the first black men on the board of trustees at the Art Museum. So this manhood and leadership development group that I was a part of, which I was a part of at 11 or 12 years old.
Wow.
So we were exposed to art at an early age, but I didn't become an artist until 2005.
Wow.
That's when I
Okay.
started being a practitioner, but I've been exposed to art since I was at an early age.
Mhm.
So when I got older, I just returned back to where, I really came from
That's
in
your
terms of,
basics.
Okay.
So I've always wanted to, be in a different light in terms of being an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I didn't want my wealth to come from selling dope.
No, I completely understand that.
I came up seeing colors. I came up when guys was
Mhm.
getting killed for pro model coats and jackets.
Mm.
And shit.
Yeah.
I said, nah, I ain't taking that road.
Right.
So I started dealing with antiques. I started buying and selling antiques. I got lucky and, found some very nice Jewish people that was in Central West End that, introduced me to some different things that I could flip and turn around and, turn a profit.
Okay.
But I've always been my own boss. But 2005 is when I first started painting,
Okay.
and the rest is history,
Nice.
Yep.
I
Okay.
think,
Go ahead.
I just had a question.
Mhm.
As far as like the antiques, I know that's pretty much a specialized type of thing, because we can walk into a place and see a lot of different things,
Yeah.
but we can never understand the value of it.
Right.
Versus someone that actually is in that specific
Right.
field can look at it. And especially with you, I know when you was walking me through your gallery and your pretty much your museum, you knew where every single thing was and
Yeah.
exactly what everything was.
Yeah. Well, part and parcel of that is that I pay for everything. So
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
self-funded. So, I ain't got nobody to answer to. I ain't got no calling me talking about, hey, you got something for me? And none of that. No. I buy as I see it, and and it's mine. So I'm able to dictate what I want for it, and all of that. So it's about really being in control of, the narrative and what you're doing. You got to pay your dues, whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn. Sometimes I would buy antiques and thought I got home and had some gold, and I ain't got nothing. Then there's been times to where people have slept things, and I've come out a winner on it. Like now I've acquired a Basquiat print.
Oh shoot.
That's 30 years old.
Okay.
And so Basquiat is the highest artist in the United States, but he's dead. But he's the highest paid earning artist in the United States.
Right.
So a poster that I paid $50-$60 for is trending right now on this one website for $9,400. So just imagine if I just hold on to it,
right,
10 years from now,
it's only gonna go up.
Yeah, so it ain't gonna never. It's always gonna go up. So it's just a matter of how much you want to make, get out of the way, reinvest.
Right.
And so I've been able to sustain myself with antiques and push my artistry. Because the reality about art is that nobody never got to buy a painting from me.
Right.
But you need to go to the grocery store. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to sacrifice a lot of things. Guys going to club and, going to Neiman and, making an ass out of all their money, No, I invested in me.
Oh, that's major.
When COVID was going on, still invested in me.
Yeah.
It's about staying the course and being comfortable in what you're doing. So,
okay. So, before you got into art, I read somewhere that you had a clothing store, right?
I was part owner of a clothing store on the west side called Goodfellow Fashions and Cleaners, and we used to sell you clothes and then turn around and clean the clothes for you.
Okay.
But what happened was by being in the hood, and also I would go to Vegas twice a year and pick out the latest fashion. So I would meet all the stylists that style all the rappers.
Okay.
And all that. I go twice a year and meet everybody. So I was there when Lupe Fiasco, when Kick Push came out. See, I was there for that.
Put us in that time frame. What year?
We're talking about Kick Push probably came out 2006, maybe somewhere in there, 5 or somewhere in there.
Lupe.
I was a big Lupe fan.
Yeah.
They said I looked like Lupe. They used to do that.
Damn.
But
now
my
that
store,
they say that.
my store was the first store to carry Zoo York. If y'all know about that clothing line.
Definitely know.
So I was really cool with the vice president Jeff Petrarca, who was one of the founders of Zoo York. So I had an open account. So he just sent me shit. Hey man, I know you're gonna pay me. I'd owe him $14,000. It didn't make no difference. It's got to be in St. Louis. This is where I want, because nobody in the Midwest knew about Zoo York.
Because it's kind of like a skater brand.
It was a skater brand.
I used to be a skater, so that's how I know that.
Yeah.
You still got a Thrasher shirt on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. So even Lupe, Kick Push. That's a skateboard.
That's a skate song. Yeah.
So I know about all this shit.
Yeah. A lot of the skateboard culture is what dictate fashion. So we go to magic
because
show.
Lil Wayne brought that out.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne's the ones that kicked that out into I would say the African American culture. He kicked it out to them and made it okay to. Because there were black skaters and all of that back then.
Oh yeah.
But you know what they called it?
Probably about Tony Hawk,
Stevie Williams.
Yeah, but you know what they called the black kids who skated back then? White boys.
Yeah.
They called them that back then.
Yeah.
Until Lil Wayne came out.
And then Lil Wayne did, and that was cool.
Which is cool, because I feel like black kids should do everything, such as what you're doing, such as the things that we're doing right now. Skateboard, play soccer, play baseball. I feel like young black kids need to expand the horizon, man. So don't put yourself in the box.
Like what he was saying earlier is that the options that was put in front of us, they dangle this carrot as far as like rap or go to the league.
Yeah.
What about option C?
Yeah. It was
entrepreneur.
It was 3: rap, go to the league, or sell drugs.
Yeah,
you said I don't want to sell drugs, so I'm gonna go another route, bro. And it's dope that you did that. Yeah. And it's a lot of kids that need to know they got opportunities to do other stuff than what's just in the hood for them.
Especially in these days and times.
Right, man.
selling dope just really, crippled black people because the
really
only way
did.
they thought to be successful is to get a bag from that type of being in that bag.
Yeah.
But in actuality, the people that sold drugs here, well, the only thing they had to do was say, I don't want to do this, but I want some land.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're still dealing with commodities and crop.
Yep.
Right.
But we so shallow-minded.
Yep.
We want it fast, but, we got away from owning our real estate.
Right.
Having a garden. See, black people used to have gardens. Everywhere you go, somebody's house, they got a little garden back there.
That's true.
Yeah.
We got away from that
always had a
because
garden.
we think that's supposed to be country.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, it's a mindset that we got to get away from.
Right. We're starting to do that. And black people are starting to do that. So I will commend a lot of black people because they're starting to get in business now. They're starting to get into owning their own businesses, buying property or flipping properties, all that. So definitely. And that's how you were able to get in some of these places you've been in because you've been in a few places. Yeah. You got a long list of places you had your artwork in.
Yeah.
Tell us some of those places.
I've been very fortunate, man. One of the first big shows that I had was at the Urban League back in like 2005. Okay. And the Urban League is like in Grand Center, right behind the Fox Theater. Mm-hmm. And so I had a lot of black legislators that was there. A lot of NBA players would come through there. So it's it's a different kind of clientele. Mm-hmm. Art collectors, and
right.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say, tell me about some paintings and some art that you sold to some artists.
I was able to sell a piece to Nas that
Fire.
was in 2008. It was waiting on him in his dressing room, and then it got moved to the tour bus where he was at. And I got a call, and the rest is history.
That's what's up.
Man, that's amazing right there.
So at the time, he was married to Khalees, and they just got that new house out in Malibu.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
But they not together, anymore. But I still wonder what happened to that painting.
What was the painting?
It was a huge painting. It had Nas on there. It had QB. It had Ill Will, who was his good friend that got killed. Mm-hmm. His mother Ann.
Right.
So I made it real personable.
Right.
Right.
I tailor-made it
right for him.
Yeah, right. And it was huge. It was, damn near big as this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine was working security up there at the pageant. I said, man, you need to be in that piece. He know I had the piece down in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I said, man, I'm not gonna get it on stage. He said, no, partner.
Yeah.
Ain't no stage action.
Had that in the dressing room when he walk in.
Can't lose.
Can't lose like that.
Imagine
you an artist, bro. You just walk into your dressing room. You just see a dope ass piece of artwork with all your personal shit on it,
not
right
no
there,
flowers,
bro.
Not no chocolate,
just
not no bottled water.
Personal in your life, and it's just on a paint right there. You gonna leave with it, right?
I mean, that's probably gonna have to be a humbling experience just
exactly.
to see that somebody. Of course, you got fans and stuff like that, but when you can see the talent connect to somebody made something personalized for me of somebody that I may have lost and stuff like that, and really connect with me to the point where I gotta put this up somewhere because I can feel the energy transferred in here, and that's what lead me to kind of take us through your process, your creative process. That
my process has been it's kind of like I pay attention. I try to all artists we just record what's around us,
right?
So we document.
Mm-hmm.
So my stuff has these socio-political nuances to them.
Okay.
I'm able to, talk about police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to talk about blighting. How we've been left out of economic conditions in terms of, trying to pass wealth down. None of that kind of thing. I'm talking about investing in art. This piece behind you, brother, is dealing with teaching African-American children the value about investing in art. Mm-hmm. This is a little schoolhouse here I did, a little diagram.
Okay.
So, my stuff is like a teaching agent at the same time, but my process is using found objects and things that I've acquired from going to estate sales and auctions that I go to. Okay. People whose homes I visited are well-traveled. A lot of them are educators. I've had master politicians, states that I've been going into. So it's a cadre of different, type of people that I've cherry picked, my collection from, and it's all within a 50-mile radius. So when we get through an interview, I'll get a chance to show you, what I'm taking in right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Speaking on some of the, like you said, social economic type of projects that you worked on. I know we was talking about a project you end up doing the mural.
Yeah, the mural at WashU that was ultimately defaced by a white supremacy group called Patriot Front. And the young man that defaced it his name is Mitchell Wagner. He was 23 years old. And he defaced the mural that we worked on. When I say we, I'm talking about myself and 5 other mentees. For 8 days, we labored in over 100-degree temperature.
My goodness.
At the height of COVID. They didn't even know what COVID was.
So that's right.
We got called as being the sacrificial lamb almost.
Oh, my goodness.
The call went to me. I said, well, I ain't finna kill my damn self.
Right.
Let me just make this be something that I could, extend to people in my circle.
Yeah.
So the artist that I chose, I know I was going to have a good product.
Right.
I know the chemistry was there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting the right nucleus together.
Right.
Okay.
So we just came together like Voltron. We didn't have no plan execution, what we going to put up there. But I got to explaining and talking like I'm talking to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were brainstorming, Brock Seals did Chadwick Boseman, who died while we were working from cancer. He also graduated from Howard University. George Poe, first African-American to receive a medal, although it was bronze, but it was the first time an African-American received a medal from the Olympics. The first Olympics to happen in the United States happened on the campus of Washington University in 1904.
Wow, see, I didn't know that.
So he was on the mural. He got defaced. And also John Lewis, who was a great and good friends with Dr. Martin Luther King, who had just spoken there a year before, his image got defaced. Wow. And he also went to Howard University. Okay. So we got 2 Howard University people on the mural. George Polk, who retired after he taught high school at Sumner after he won the medal. And then he went to Hannibal, Missouri, and that's where he ended up dying at.
Okay.
But on the other side of the mural, we have Dr. Robert Williams, who was like 91 years old when he died. He was a WashU former professor.
Okay.
He came out with a term called the bitch test. and all this is make sure that y'all look this up.
We got
to do our research.
These are thoroughbreds. It's funny that we sit up here, laughing about it, but it's an acronym. It's called the bitch test.
Okay.
And he's the first man to come up with the term ebonics. This Washington University black professor named Robert L. Williams. He died while we were up there working. So I said, put him on there.
Put him on there.
Annie Malone, put her on there. First black millionaire, female millionaire.
Right.
In the United States. Not citywide. United States, the first. So it's this Ville neighborhood that these mines come out of. Homer G. Phillips, where I was born, 1974. He's on there. Also born in Missouri. Annie Malone born in the same town as Richard Pryor, Peoria.
Yep.
And she was the first, she's one of the first people to drive a Rolls Royce in the state. Can you imagine that?
History.
Oh,
what they say? Message.
Yeah.
Nah. When you see somebody, that's probably when you see it, you probably didn't even know what it was.
You probably know the Rolls Royce was.
No, you don't know what it is. You just know it's pretty.
You just like, whatever that is, I want to get
and you sure don't know the cost.
Right.
Yeah, definitely some good black history, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
So we some powerful people, man.
So a question I know did you have a question?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, what was the selection process of how they reached out to you?
Well, they said, I still got the email. They asked me would I be able to I don't want to say design, but do something dealing with diversity.
Okay.
And inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other things that go along with, in academia in terms of being a place of a higher learning. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be not Black history, but that's what the media called it.
Right.
I didn't tell y'all that was the name of it. I didn't tell y'all it's called the Black History Mural. Where'd y'all get that from?
Right.
So I said, let me title it The Never Ending Story Project.
Oh, man,
so then I produced the book, called The Never Ending Story. But I was already documenting it and had the idea and the foresight to create a book before the vandalization happened. Oh, wow. The vandalization happened, and that added more insult on the injury. And so what has happened since I've done the book is that the charges that the young man got when he first did it was considered a federal hate crime. But some kind of way the case was not prosecuted in the St. Louis City because Kim Gardner would have handled the case. Right. So it got shifted to St. Louis County. Oh, wow. And it got lessened from a federal crime to a misdemeanor. Oh, wow. So as far as we know, it's over with. Wasn't no harm done. The university wasn't no harm done. We're sorry this happened to you guys. Best of luck. Yeah. I haven't even had a conversation with the chancellor about it. Nobody in the upper echelon in terms of what can they do in terms of, maybe purchase our art. Let us have an exhibit up there. Right. A gesture. Something.
So how does that make you feel? So how does it make you feel when you spend that much time, that much effort, that much thought? Also, you wrangling another group of people to come in on board with you, not just alone, right? How does that make you feel when your artwork is defaced? With pretty much a slap on the wrist for whoever defaced it, but also something that valuable, that substantial, because you just walked down a list of everybody you had on that mural. Yeah. Everybody was substantial. Yeah. That's a piece of history that can never be recreated. Right. Right? So how does that make you feel?
And it's been completely painted over. So if I didn't do that book, there would have been no record of us even being up there. Wow. Other than what the news media got of it being defaced. Yeah. See, they never accentuate the positive. Now the kicker is, while we're up there working, it's in the book. The mural was getting defaced while we were working. But I didn't want to talk about that because I didn't want to overshadow us being up there working. So I got in the book where some students, see, the boy that did it, he wasn't a student. While we were going on lunch break and a blow session, we come back, somebody didn't win an eye, paint, fags, niggas, in the sidewalk. So I put that in the book. Oh, wow. Now, this is before the defacement. Okay. See, I ain't did a book on the defacement. Right. This is y'all just before.
But you are documented along the way.
See, I ain't did my after book.
Right. It's on the way. It's on the way.
Yeah, so it might be volumes. Yeah. So a lot that went on since then, you know. Yeah. But how do I feel about it? I just feel, I kind of got upset because didn't any art organizations come forward in our defense? Say, damn, man, what can we do in terms of solidarity or no kind of and I looked at them because I'm in the art circle. Right. Just didn't have that, didn't have that support that I thought was going to be there. And it's okay. Just look at it like, damn. The NAACP, they went and shot. He went and stood in back of it. Got a backdrop, but the conversation never did materialize anything. But it's kind of like nobody cares unless it happened to them.
Yeah, that's deep.
So that's what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So unless, and it's a shame to say, unless, from my observation, from where I'm sitting from, it seems like if white people don't say it's an outrage, don't nothing make black people mad enough to want change. And it's really a shame, that because I'm fighting for the rights of artists. I mean, you got the right to say you don't like something, but you ain't got the right to tear it up.
Right.
Vandalize.
That's true.
You don't have
you don't have the right to do that. So it's just uncouth. What went on, and then another point I want to bring out is that the student newspaper did an expose on the guy Mitchell Wagner, who's 23 years old, that did the vandalization. The university kept his identity hidden.
They didn't want to tell you who it was.
Didn't want to been knowing the whole for 3 months. Kept his identity hidden for 3 months. Wow. The students did a story Say, why did y'all keep this boy's identity hidden? And so I was able to call this legal defense team that's called they're based in Montgomery, Alabama. And they ultimately called me and say, hey man, because of the state you in, we're sorry, but there's nothing that we can do. We cannot fool with Dred Scott State. Mm-hmm. This is what the Dred Scott decision happened. Mm-hmm. And so it's a matter of nobody cares. I went and cried on the shoulders. I went to Jefferson City. I took it to the state capitol.
Right.
Didn't get any kind of play in terms of that. So people just they don't care about it. So my thing is trying to bring shame.
Right.
Shame them. Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been doing. To keep telling the truth till it falls on somebody's ear.
Yeah. Right. It's like the story of if.
But I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter or anything. It's just a weird. It's a weird position to be in because, you're trying to be about change, and folks are telling you that we don't want change.
Yeah. Right. Say keep your change.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying. So in these days and times, we don't know. What else is on this guy's mind.
Right.
We don't even know where he's at right now.
They don't know, still
these
don't.
Days, what he's got going on these days.
And the people that he worked for, they the ones that turned him in.
Really?
Man, it's just so many.
So he's just the fall guy.
Oh, pretty much. Then they left after they did the mural. They went out to Idaho.
So they traveling.
Yeah, they on tour.
So it's even from
they got hate on tour.
They on tour.
They on a hate tour.
They on a hate tour.
Damn.
Yes.
Wow.
What? Patriot Front on tour.
Damn.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets and watch the hate.
They going around. Shit. Hate fest.
You really
Nobody cares,
effort.
Man.
It's
black affairs. They don't give a fuck about that.
They don't even care.
If I can be candid on y'all show,
Man, it's the place to do it.
Anywhere. Speak your mind, man.
Yeah, they don't care. When it comes to our blackness.
Yeah.
Because we don't care.
Yeah.
And don't nothing make us mad enough to won't change. Black Lives Matter. White people own Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Nobody black dictate no Black Lives Matter. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We ain't got no damn power. We can't hire and fire nobody. We can't determine what somebody live and all that. That's what racism is about.
Yeah. I do want to get into something a little deeper though.
Yeah.
So you did have open heart surgery.
Yes. In
2012.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep, man.
Heavy, man. Heavy, babe. Heavy.
So after that, after healing from that and going through that kind of trauma, how was your outlook on life after that? Did you appreciate life,
brother?
more?
I can't tell you the last time I had an argument.
See,
there's nothing a motherfucker can do to make me upset. No more.
Mm-hmm.
No, I feel that.
No more than 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
24 hours,
Yep.
You got to get out of my system.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been 10 years. I'm going into my 11th year of having heart surgery. I'm going to tell you how I had it. So I got my tooth pulled back in 2012. And I got the feeling very sluggish and tired and stuff. I'm going to give you the symptoms. Like, damn, I ain't never felt, like nothing like this, And so a lady friend called me and said, you need to get your ass to the doctor. Mm-hmm. I said, well, come get me. Right. She came right on. She sent something in my voice. Mm-hmm. Oh, you getting up out of that motherfucking house. She got me. They took me up to Barnes, get the blood work. Mr. Jones, we have some terrible news. You have an infection. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you have endocarditis. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you have a terrible, terrible, terrible disease. I said, what? I haven't even had sex. What are you talking about? To show you how ignorant I am.
Right.
He said, no. Have you been in the hospital for anything? I said, lady, the only thing that happened to me is that I had my tooth pulled last month. He said, oh. So they get the blood work back and says, Mr. Jones, we have some terrible news. The blood in your heart is pumping backwards.
Oh,
Say you don't have time to ask nobody about a second opinion. None of that shit. It is imperative that you get your ass on this gurney.
Man.
I said, lady, what the fuck is you talking about? I ain't never been sick of damn, I went to a Richard Pryor hysteria type shit. I said, like, what is this? No, sir, I mean, we got the blood work back, I said, okay. So if the nurse come to tell me that, the doctor come, Mr. Jones, it's very bad, man, your heart, you have 2 valves that need to be replaced. I said, 2 valves? I said, yeah. The mitral valve and the aorta valve. The aorta valve is the main valve that distributes the blood throughout your body, and the mitral valve. I says, what's my options, doc? He said, well, you got 2 options. You can take the mechanical route or you can take the animal route. The animal route is that they use pig tissue and that they will go into you every 10 years or so to make sure everything's up to par. I chose the mechanical because it lasts 90 years.
Right.
So the chances of you, if I would have took the pig, the chances of you coming out of them motherfucking surgeries get slimmer and slimmer as you get older. So I said, well, give me the mechanical. It lasts 90 years.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm 38
Yeah.
at the time. Fuck it.
Right.
I ain't gonna make it to 600.
128.
Yeah, so, but as technology gets better and better as we go, see, they probably come along, it's been 10 years now, so ain't no telling where science then went to now.
Right.
So I'm so thankful that I didn't have any other pre-existing things going on that allowed me to kick back so quickly.
Yeah.
So motherfuckers really thought I was lying. Oh, man, ain't nothing wrong with D. Ain't nothing wrong. I just seen D.
Right.
Motherfucker, I was in the hospital a month and 8 days. Owed them people $1 million. Huh? I ain't gave them people shit. Now y'all come get it. Hey Josh, y'all come get it. Come get it.
Come take it out.
Yeah.
Take it out.
I ain't got nothing. I'm still that same D-Seg student that woke up in the dark, standing on the fucking corner, could have got killed and trying to go to school.
Right.
With white people. Because they thought that we weren't safe to go in our own neighborhood. I said, well, we come out with D-Seg. They make $5,000 a month off each student, busting our ass out to D-Seg. That's how them school districts was able to have all that shit off the backs of black people. So slavery ain't never been all the way out the way, okay? Right. It's been refashioned and repurposed.
Yeah.
Big business.
That's true.
Sports. Slavery. Yeah. At advanced level. Entertainment. So I've never wanted to be a person that was into sports. I was into having my own.
Right.
If you're going to play sports, own the team. I don't want to hear about no motherfucker running up and down no court. I want to hear about motherfuckers running up in the banks.
Right. Yeah. That's what the movie is.
So on the same page as you, after going through stuff like that, on the same page as you want to be your own person, want to be your own boss, want to own your own business, you still have to find therapy.
Sure.
Found art.
The art saved me. I can come down here. I can separate, my antiques from my art. I come down here. So this is my lab. And, I paint in the house too. So art is very therapeutic, man. You're able to, escape. I spend a great deal of time looking at art. I go to museums. I was just at a museum the other day at the St. Louis Art Museum. I taught a workshop there several years ago dealing with abstraction, teaching a lot of like 30 art instructors from all over the city about kind of like interpreting abstract art, what trying to interpret, because you can't really interpret what, there's no way that, y'all can tell me what, there's no right and wrong.
Right.
That's why I chose this lane of abstraction, because I can't draw a lick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said you can't draw a lick.
Yeah. But I can paint with words though.
Yeah.
And tell you what emotion comes out of different things and stuff. But you still have your own, you might say, well, that blue there remind me of, a color that was in my bed. How can I argue with that?
Right.
Because we all got different experiences. So the interpretations that we all have are right and valid.
Yeah.
It's just that do we get a chance to tell our side of the story? And so that's what happens, that, our narrative never gets pushed. It's always being, us being dictated to as a people.
So looking at just like what you're saying, art is subjective.
Yeah.
I remember back in college where it was a drawing class I was in. I used to always be late. Yeah. And the professor comes up to me and say, Josh, you're such an amazing artist, so talented, but your attendance, this is A+ work. Everything you do is A+ work, but I'm going to have to give you a B or a C, is what she said.
Yeah.
And I said, with all due respect, I said, I'm paying you to go here. Right. And I know the art department is failing. And I knew the department chair. I knew her.
Right.
I said, y'all want me to go to, I ain't going to say a name. Y'all want me to go to such and such and tell y'all why I'm not going to sign up for drawing anymore? It's drawing.
Yeah, drawing.
I said, if you want to give me a C, should I see Dan's drawings?
Right.
Dan bet not, ain't no way in hell he better not get a better grade than me. Them sticks over there. And I did that a couple more times in different art classes. Next thing you know, it's 4.0. It's subjective, but
that's be late to class, cuss the teacher out. You might still get a 4.0. Don't worry about it. Words of Josh.
Right.
I got a 0 in art class trying to do some shit like that. You remember I told you about that?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole today. Another story, man. So, you got a long, extensive kind of work history with the art thing. How did you get started in art? Just period. Like, what made you say, like, you know what? I just want to do art.
Well, I had some good mentors that was patient with me, man. The one I was telling you about that exposed me to it was Dr. William Harrison, who was on the board of trustees, who was one of the first black people on the board of trustees at the Art Museum. So Dr. Harrison stayed in this colossal-ass house on 28 Washington Terrace right off Union. St. Louis also has a lot of history in terms of being the first city to have private streets in the United States.
Wow.
Private streets, okay?
Okay.
All this World's Fair, when all this stuff is built that I'm talking about, Union and where Dr. Harrison stayed on 28 Washington Terrace, which is right off Union, near Forest Park. Okay. So a lot of the millionaires, when they was coming over from different countries, they have these houses built. So when they bring their families over to go to Forest Park to see what's happening,
right,
they had somewhere to stay. And so that's when a lot of stuff was built up around that time. We were talking like like after Reconstruction, which is 1865.
Right.
So they started building up stuff. I don't know. Did that answer your question?
Not for real.
Oh, okay. You caught me there.
No, but it's cool. It's cool though. It's cool because you just kind of explain how you got into art or who put you into art.
Yeah.
Yeah. But getting into art, how would you explain if a situation? Because before I got here, I looked up some of your artwork online, right?
Yeah.
None of it was this.
No.
None of it was this.
No.
Not on Instagram. Not on Facebook. Maybe I missed some websites. Maybe I didn't get to see those. I don't know.
Oh no, the name of the show is Stay Off the Internet, and you don't do that.
I'll be all over that. I'll be all over the internet. So my thing is just seeing some of your artwork face to face. It tell a different story than your artwork online.
Yeah.
I noticed you don't post a lot of your pieces online, not your political pieces.
No.
Because I'm looking at your political pieces and they deep.
Yeah.
How do you explain that creative process, creating those type of pieces?
Well, like I said, I just document what's around me. So I'm able to come down here when things happen. And I pick up on different sensibilities that's going on around me. It's kind of like having an antenna,
Yeah.
And I'm able to come down at 2:30 in the morning,
Right. Okay.
I work for myself. So,
right.
I did this piece here, like I was telling you, when I first got word that they were going to build a soccer stadium. I said, let me put my little mixtape together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I have this kind of like relationship, like, I think I'm a artist,
right,
which I am a visual artist, but I think I'm also performing when I'm down here painting. Let me lay this track down. So this color.
For real.
So that's me laying a track down.
Yeah.
So it's, and I come in and work, other artists be in here working, and sometimes I'm in here alone. I had this room to myself for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was able to make 20, 30 pieces all at the same time.
So how do you that? So okay, so something happens, and I'm just speaking specifically on like your kind of abstract, political kind of driven art. That's what I'm speaking on. Yeah. Something happens worldwide. Everybody knows about it. You say, "Damn, it's 2:00 in the morning. I got a creative idea." Yeah. But guess what? After I create this piece, I'm not gonna upload it to Instagram. I'm not gonna upload it to Facebook. Yeah. How do you promote that? How do you get that piece out there to make it a success for you?
Well, what I do is I try to draw people down to me. See, I have a lot of collectors and stuff come to the building. Okay. Whereas I don't have to be that starving artist that we haven't talked about yet in terms of being vulnerable. And somebody offered me 50 cents, I'd be mad and want to say, get your ass out of my face, and want to pay me with beer and shit and cheese. I can't stay here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So pay rent. My conversation is totally different when I talk to people. Because this is business. I'm not doing business. I'm doing business.
Right. Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a major difference. You know what I'm saying? And I also learned this one thing that Mike Roberts say, that rich people yell, wealthy people whisper. Mm-hmm. And so I'm trying to talk to the people that whisper. Yeah. Okay. Folks that yell, "Oh, D man, I like what you're doing, man. You still doing your little art thing?" Yeah, I'm still doing it. But I see you at the top.
Right. So when you started and got into the art field, as far as a creative, what was your main goal when you first started?
My goal is because it's life changing, man. I was able to, like I told you, I've been buying and selling things. Right. That's what I'm into. Buying pieces and flipping them in some cases. Right. Well, I've also been able to help other artists get their work and position them in spots to do things. Okay. And so in me doing that, it's gained me favor in terms of being a catalyst. Okay. I'm also a board member of the St. Louis Artists Guild. Okay. In Clayton, Missouri. Wow. So that's going to be some impactful stuff that I'm going to be a part of, because it's about Black people being at the table before the deals are cut. Mm-hmm. Not about we not at the table, the deal cut. Right here.
Mm-hmm. The deal's been cut, then you come to
what we cutting up?
Yeah. So your goal is kind of just to be more of like a grow into a bridge for people like yourself. Yeah. Kind of lead them to where they need to be at to be successful.
Yeah, I'm pushing 50. Shit, I'm not going to be, I ain't finna be working all my.
So I was gonna ask you, what versus your goal back then when you first started, versus now. You've been through life. You've been through open heart surgeries. You've seen the world go crazy. We seen COVID. We thought the world was gonna end, bro.
We lived COVID.
We lived through COVID, bro.
Shit.
Now, now you see the world as what it is now. Now, what are your goals with what you're doing?
My goal still is to have a museum, a brick and mortar, and I've also thought about having a franchise of art. Just like with a fast food, but have something with different franchise in terms of different areas with art. So if it ain't game changing, I don't even want to brainstorm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to think big. That's what we all need to think big. Yeah. Yeah. It ain't about being in the same spot you in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be my age. Mm-hmm. So it's about what do I see myself in 10 years? What will it be like for a Black artist at 70? Hopefully I won't be trying to y'all consider buying some work for me. They say I'm a master, but I'm too goddamn old to appreciate it. Will y'all get something from me? Push me in a wheelchair and shit. No. Get all you can while you can. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And, everything else will fall in its place, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and be true to self. You know?
Hey, that's words to live by.
Words
every
to live
time.
by.
Yeah. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken.
Everybody else is taken.
That's where it is. And, I was talking about the Jay-Z piece.
Okay.
That I did with Jay-Z in mind because he's a huge, art collector.
Right.
And I did a piece where I did it at the time he did the 444 album. So it's got shredded money. It's got shredded money from 1982 in it. And it's also got Birds of Paradise that symbolizes Beyonce. And I've got 2 gold embossed bars on it. And I have one embossed silver bar for Blue Ivy. And the background of the piece is green, symbolizing the prosperity of the whole family. So it's called 444. So that's one piece that come to mind that I think about doing. And another piece that's behind me is when I started getting some play in terms of from Washington University. This piece hung at the Regional Arts Commission back in 2014 when Mike Brown died.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to ride the Mike Brown wave like everybody else. See, so a lot of people came up off Mike Brown.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I said, nah, I didn't like the way they was, riding that, that magic carpet there because I looked at none of them do nothing for his parents.
No.
Y'all did all this merch and, y'all still should be sending them people something.
Yeah.
Mike Brown, they got a foundation, set up. But damn, it took the people to see that folks was ripping them off for them to set it up. I mean, it's crazy, man. That we just need to be better business people. All of us.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to do good business.
Yeah.
No, that's the key. Just understanding business.
Yeah.
For anybody.
Yeah,
take you a lot.
Just doing good business with people, man. And that's how you grow. So.
All right.
Yep.
All right, man. So, we do want to thank you, man, for taking the time out and sit down with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Walking us through your history.
Yeah.
You have an exhibit coming up.
Yeah, that's right. I got the exhibit coming up on April 22nd at the Griot Museum on St. Louis Avenue.
Okay.
That's the Black History?
The Black Wax and History Museum. Wow. That's right behind the new NGA that they're building, the $3 billion NGA project that's going on.
And what date is that?
It's going to be April 22nd.
And what time?
At, I believe it's going to be at 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay. April 22nd. We got 2 events on April 22nd.
There's a lot of events going on.
A lot on April 22nd.
Was on April 22nd, yeah.
April 22nd, 1 o'clock p.m. at the Griot Black Museum on St. Louis Ave. Y'all check my man's out.
De Janeiro.
Yeah.
De Janeiro Jones. Y'all check him out that day. Are you gonna have any of your artwork for sale that day? Or anything?
Oh yeah, I always have something for sale. It's gonna be maybe about I'll probably bring about 20 pieces to be in the show. So
all right,
they'll all be for sale. Sir David Adjei will be there. I believe he's the #1 architect in the world. Sir David Adjei, from Tanzania. So it's a big it's a big deal that that I'm a part of.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool, man. So we definitely like to thank you for your time, sitting down with us, man, taking the time out of all this you got going on, man, to sit down and
appreciate it.
Yes,
walk us through your history, man.
Oh yeah.
We hopefully y'all enjoyed this, and y'all go check him out. He on Instagram, Facebook. We're gonna put the links below, so y'all check him out, man.
Man, hey, always a pleasure, man.
Thank you,
Every time I see you, man, I always learn just a little bit more. Man, I definitely appreciate it, man. I appreciate you sharing everything with us, dropping some gems for us as well.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And get us up out of here.
Stay y'all off the internet, man. Holla back.
Peace.